Hello and welcome back to Confessions of a Gamer Girl. I'm your host, Doom Cutie, and today I have the lovely Hannabealla with me today. Hello, welcome to COAG.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You are so welcome. I have had the pleasure of talking to so many gaming mums as part of this series, and you were definitely one that I was extremely happy to jump into COAG for sure.
Oh, amazing. There's a lot of us around, actually. The more now that I'm in it, I'm like, oh, there's actually a lot of gaming parents.
Yeah, no, it's actually wild. I think, when you are in those trenches of, young children, I mean, just look at Ellie, for example, from our panel. She's really held on to her hobbies to kind of hold on to her personality, I suppose, and have that as an outlet. So, like that's really awesome that she's been able to do that. Um, and yeah, like I guess it's not until you're in that space that you really realize how many people are actually parents.
That was huge for me too. Like, I think when we decided we were going to have kids, I was like, I've worked so hard on so many things in my life that I just
Yeah.
don't want being a mum just to become my whole personality. Like,
Oh,
yeah, very, very strong opinions on that as well.
yeah.
Because I see that happen so often, it's kind of all consuming, which it should be, but I think it's important for your kids to kind of see who you are as well and experience what's important to you.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, happy mum, happy bub, happy
Yeah.
wife, happy life, all that lovely jazz. But before we get into like, the big discussion, could you just let everyone know what you do in the gaming community?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Hannah, also known as Hannabealla. I've been streaming on Twitch for 6 years now. I also cosplay, and I guess am recently a mother, so embarked on my most important journey in life, I guess. But yeah, within the gaming space, I have been, like I said, streaming for 6 years. So I've been around on Twitch since the Justin TV days, kind of lurking,
Oh.
waiting for my opportunity to get good internet so I could stream. Um, so I've been in this space for quite a while. Yeah.
So 6 years is quite a long time to be in this space for sure. And yeah, like well done to you for sticking it out that long. I'm sure it wasn't always easy for you. But what actually inspired you to start on that journey?
That's a really good question. I guess because I had always been lurking and watching people streaming on Justin TV, I always thought it'd be a really fun thing to do. I was gaming a lot anyway. At that stage, I
Mm.
was playing a lot of League of Legends, um, which I don't touch anymore. It's a little bit toxic now. Um, and I just thought it'd be really cool to be able to hang out and chat to people while I was gaming and meet new friends. That's really
Mhm.
what it started off for me as, a bit of a networking opportunity. It was never something that I thought would ever take off, um, and be kind of what it is now. Because I have such a beautiful community now that kind of hangs out often. They're always in, even though I'm not streaming as much as I used to. But yeah, it's definitely surpassed my expectations of what I thought it could be at that stage. Um, yeah.
I think people when they enter that space, a lot of people are just seeking like-minded people and to have that really really close connected community, and by the sounds of it, that's what you got out of it. And for anyone who has actually taken off, it's more often than not it's actually been by accident.
Yeah, true.
um so yeah, so obviously, you were streaming, you were obviously maintaining your life, and then you decided to have a baby.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a long time coming.
Okay.
We'd been trying for quite a long time, and I've got
Okay.
endometriosis and PCOS,
Right.
so it had been quite a journey. I
Mhm.
had a few surgeries, and it was really like not the romantic kind of, doing a pregnancy test and finding out. And it was very much not that what you see in movies. It was more
Okay.
surgeries and
Mhm.
being told we have to do things on certain days. And
Yeah.
we found out pretty much straight away. Like we knew that the chances of us falling pregnant at that particular time were pretty high. Uh, so we'd been trying for a few years, and
Yeah.
had a lot of time to plan, I guess, for when it would hopefully eventually happen.
Yeah, I think when people often see perhaps, younger women maybe who do stream, who are in this space, they might think that, "Oh, it was just like a whoopsie."
Mm,
That
yeah,
happened. And there are so many women that go through such a medicalized journey to pregnancy. And, you mentioned that, it wasn't that romantic fantasy of being like, "Oh, taking the pregnancy tests and, like, seeing it." And I don't know, I guess, there's I guess we through social media, we see a lot of those videos of people testing
yeah,
on different
definitely.
days. But you know what? I think that journey is something that is so valid in society. Like, it's something that I think people are getting more and more comfortable sharing, and it's more common than
Mhm.
I think people actually think.
Yeah, it definitely is pretty common. I've known a lot of people in a similar circumstance, and
Mm.
even my mum, back in the day,
Okay.
went through a similar thing. So it was
Yeah.
something I grew up knowing about, which
Okay.
I guess made me more comfortable having to go through a similar thing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's, awesome that you had that support. Did
Mm.
you I don't know how much you shared with your community about this,
Yeah, I'm
whether
pretty open with
yeah.
them actually. Like,
Okay.
yeah,
Oh, well, you know what? That's fantastic. Like, honestly, I can't think of anything worse than having to, like, go through something that's, not exactly linear, and, not having people to actually, like, go to talk
yeah.
about that, and especially when you share so much time with them as well, through streaming, like, I mean, it'd be pretty hard to hide, I reckon.
Oh, definitely. And they become like friends. Like you end up meeting your community IRL
Yeah.
and going to
Yeah.
conventions and chatting. Like yeah, they
Mhm.
really do become a bit like a little family online. Yeah.
Yeah. So you continued to stream when you were pregnant, yes?
I did, yes, pretty much the whole way through. I set an end date, which I thought was going to be 3 weeks before I was due,
Mhm.
and then Miney came 10 days early. So so I pretty much finished streaming and had a few days off, and then ended up going into labor. So yeah, I didn't give
Wow.
myself much downtime there.
Oh, okay. No, here I I thought you were gonna say it was, like, particularly, like, I got off like, I was feeling a little bit crampy on stream, and then, like, oh, my afterwards, like, my water broke, like, that
No,
would have
no.
been quite eventful.
Oh, imagine. I was concerned that like maybe it would happen on stream. I was getting uncomfortable, and I had like an exercise ball that I was sitting on
Oh, right.
in like the last streams because I was like I couldn't sit on
Sit in a
my
chair.
chair. Yeah.
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 Yeah, because, like, I guess, like, your hips are, like, a lot more confined in this kind of chair. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I know,
definitely. And I'm
I
terrible.
remember.
I sit cross-legged in this chair
Oh, please,
constantly,
yeah.
so that just didn't work well with the extra belly room that I needed.
For sure. So, how did you find, like, obviously your community was, like, super excited that you were having a baby, and yeah, you obviously took time off, during that newborn phase. Do you feel like you've come back fully, or
Definitely not, no,
yeah,
because Miney's still quite young, so she's still not on any kind of proper sleeping pattern. She's a little bit all over
yeah,
the place, and
yeah,
she's a cat napper. So I
yeah,
I had this dream vision that like she would have these long naps in the afternoon, and I could jump on and do a stream. And
Mm.
yeah, that didn't happen. So at the
The
moment
dream.
the dream, exactly. I was like, okay, she'll go down, I'll like do a 2-hour stream of an afternoon,
Yeah.
and I can do it every day. And no, that didn't happen at all.
Mhm.
I'm still hoping, I'm still holding on to hope that
Mhm.
she does end up having a big nap each day at some point. But we're just not there yet.
Yeah.
So at the moment, I'm just doing one stream a week on a
Mhm.
Saturday evening.
Okay.
And my hubby spends some time with her, which is good
Yeah.
for him as well, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess when you are that primary caregiver, I mean, other things just all of a sudden become secondary. Definitely. And,
Yeah.
you're obviously still figuring out a pattern, and, she's still figuring out what is life. And I think babies don't realize they're actually a separate entity from their mother until they're 18 months old. So it's like,
That's wild, isn't it?
so you're very much still in the very early stage. And, lots of people know that I have older children now, and, you really don't get those days back. Like, even this morning, like, the girls jumped in bed with me, and, like, they're so big now. Like, they don't fit right, or, like, they don't they don't, like, lean into me, like, with their whole bodies. They're really hard now,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
definitely, like, this time, like, it's so precious. So I really hope that you're not feeling the pressure to come back
No,
fully.
definitely not. Like I definitely miss it. I do miss streaming. And I was only doing 3 nights a week previously because
Yeah.
I was working full time anyway. Um, but at the same time, like initially when I did start back, I was getting mad mum guilt about
Mm.
doing something for myself, which is silly, but you
Yeah.
experience that. Um, so yeah, I'm kind of past that a bit more now, and
Mhm.
it's just nice to be able to do. And I've had to adapt my stream a bit too. I'm breastfeeding her, so if she needs a feed, I
Yeah.
kind of just turn the camera off and continue playing my game and just feed
Yeah.
her. But you do what you do, and I've adapted my gaming. Even I'm not playing as fast paced games anymore. I've been on Baldur's Gate 3 a lot.
Amazing.
It's nice to be able to just, if I need to do something with her, it doesn't impact the timeline of the game too much.
Yeah. Yeah,
I can
true.
just stop. Nothing's going to attack me. So that's been handy. Good timing on releasing that game.
Yeah, definitely. Congratulations again, Larian, for Game of the Year. Love to see
Yes.
it. Yeah, no, I think so. I think a lot of women's game taste changes after they have kids, because, like you say, you need to be able to pause. You need to be able to, you know, come back to it and not feel
Mm.
like, any game that's sort of like progressive or anything like that. Like, I still find myself like struggling a little bit to keep up with my World of Warcraft, my guild. Like, they have like these scheduled nights that they all play, and I'm like, sometimes my child is sick. Sometimes I need to do stuff with them, and it takes precedent over that.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I have been playing like shorter games, or games that are just, pick up and put down. You know what, there's nothing wrong with that, and I don't think that makes you any less of a gamer.
No, definitely not. It's all valid. Every game's valid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
that's so true. I
uh,
was playing a lot more on the Switch too, which I hadn't touched in
hey, that's
long time.
nice.
And I just like picked that back up. And like, this is great. When she was younger and I was just like, she was sleeping a lot, I could sit on the couch with her and just play Pokemon.
Oh.
Or, yeah, it was really nice.
Very cute.
Yeah.
So I know, like, okay, so there are two kinds of content creator parents. and this is not just in gaming, but there's the parents that will share their child online, and there were parents that don't share their child online.
Yes.
You share her online.
What?
What? What? Thank you, because it makes me get warm fuzzies. But but like, how did you come to that decision?
Yeah, my hubby and I did talk about it a lot. At the moment, we're figuring she's still a baby.
Yeah.
She kind of isn't. When she's a child, that
Mm.
might stop. We're still kind of umming and ahhing about that. But because she is still very little, I feel like all babies kind of look the same anyway. It's very hard to like kind of, visually identify like one baby from another. A lot of time they're just babies. But yeah, when she starts getting a little personality and I don't know, more features that she's gonna kind of have for life, I think we might rethink it. I might turn the Instagram I have for her on private and reassess who's following it.
Yeah.
It's the internet's a scary thing when you have kids. Kind
It
of got to
definitely is.
think about things in a very different way, and can be kind of daunting. So I understand why people don't share their kids online. But like I was saying before, I think like my community, I've always had a very safe and welcoming and loving community. I've been very lucky there. I don't tend to get a lot of trolls, tap on wood. It's a very, for me, it's a very safe space.
Okay.
So I feel comfortable sharing her there at this point in time. It may change in the future.
Well, it's good that you have an open mind to that, because I feel like, people might get maybe caught up isn't the right word, but maybe they feel like they might get more opportunities to work with brands or whatever because they do have a child. And the more that they share them, the more that they share that parenting life, because at the end of the day, parents do spend a lot of money on their children. And obviously, in some capacity, being a content creator, you do have a community to influence. I think, you can kind of let that go to your head a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely haven't thought about sharing her online in that way. It's more I love her and she's so cute. And I needed to like restrain myself from like posting every post about her.
Oh my goodness. I have so many photos. Like it's ridiculous.
It's insane. I actually look at my Instagram feed and I'm like, okay, I've got to like, if I do a post about her, then I've got to do something about gaming. And then like, I've got to share the love a little bit, because a lot of the people who are following me from Twitch.
Yeah, exactly.
From gaming. So I don't want to like baby them out either and lose them as followers. So it's kind of a hard line to walk.
Yeah, for sure. Like they're like, oh, I'm following this like cute gamer girl, and I'm seeing this like baby. What the?
Yeah. What's with that? Unfollow. She's taken.
Oh, well, yeah, and that's another thing as well. Like, I think it's like I personally don't think that my relationship or my children are really anyone else's business unless you know me, like IRL. Like for me, like that's a line that I don't really cross. Like there have been times that I felt like I've needed to explain myself, as in whether it be like consistency wise or whatever. And I'm like, look, I am a parent and I do work, and sometimes the thing that doesn't pay the bills and keep the roof over my head, or that is the most important thing to me, is the priority. And so that's actually the only time that I personally felt like I needed to actually tell anyone about that.
Yeah, that's completely fair. I think that like, because Glenn, my hubby, has featured in a few of my streams, so people kind of got to know him too, that it was just kind of an extension of that they got to go on my pregnancy journey with me. And I had a few people message me and like, how special was that we got to, go through all of that with you, like getting to know Glenn and you guys getting married. And
Yeah.
communicate. They've really like experienced it all.
And that, you know what, that's such a special journey for people. And there are some people that, I don't know, it could be quite healing for them to see people that they care about in this community actually, you know, go on and be successful and have these, you know, healthy, loving families that maybe they don't have the opportunity to experience. So I think there's so many levels to what you do and what we all do in this space. And yeah, like honestly, I think it's like, it's so like honorable that you decided to share that with everyone, because not, you know, it's your time, and it was your first time as well. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's
yeah,
true.
for sure.
I'm a very much an oversharer though too, so like that comes naturally to me.
I just couldn't help it. Okay, it's not something
Yeah.
I sat down and was like, I'm gonna share this.
Yeah. Yeah, and generally, like I'm pretty open. If someone wants to ask me something, that's fine. And if I don't feel comfortable talking about it, I will say that. But
Yeah.
yeah, generally, I'm pretty open to talk about my experiences.
Have you found like brain fog a thing when you're playing
Oh yes,
games?
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And when I'm streaming,
Yeah.
yeah, I've noticed because I'm dyslexic anyway, so I often like when I'm reading
Okay.
chat, names particularly stuff me up.
Oh,
They do for a
yes.
lot of people. But like I will constantly call people something when they come into chat that's not at all what their name is. um, it's obvious once they point it out, but at the time, and I've noticed it's worse
Than
since.
ever. Yeah.
Uh,
It's
yeah,
actually
since birth.
it's actually because our brains have been exposed to high levels of estrogen, and that really messes with your working memory. So you can't actually hold on to like that procedural information for long periods of time. So the thing that actually makes you function. So like where you put your keys, people's names, why did I come in this room? Like, so
Yeah,
it's definitely normal.
it's
But yeah,
hilarious. My
that's
hubby gave
something that
me
I noticed.
so much shit for like I would go to say a sentence and it would just be like, "Blah,"
You're
and he'd
like,
be
what did
like,
you say?
"What?" It just like wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah, and then when you combine that level of, you know, brain functioning with, I've had 4 hours sleep in half an hour blocks all night. Like, and when I say all night, from like 6 till 6, like that will mess you up. I am I'm my worst version of myself when I don't get enough sleep. And I tell you, I was not okay. I was not
No,
okay with this sleep. And I
I was
actually,
going
like,
for 9 hours sleep.
I couldn't do any of the things that I love to do because I was like, I was that tired.
Yeah. Yeah, pre-pregnancy, I would get like 9 hours sleep pretty consistently. I
Yeah.
love my sleep. But I think I found the third trimester worse than postpartum. I just couldn't get
Really?
comfy and I was up and down peeing and it was just
Yeah.
it was horrible, especially like right towards the end of the third trimester.
Yeah.
Um, but we were
Because you
very
basically
lucky.
got like a big brick of cement attached to your hips, and
Uh-huh.
moving hurts,
It's
breathing
so
hurts.
hard.
And you're so hungry and you can't eat a lot of food
Yeah.
because you have a massive human pressing against every single organ in your abdomen. Your breasts are bigger than they've ever been. Also, your nipples look like dinner plates, and you're like,
And tender.
this is
So
not my
tender.
body anymore. And every time I go to the doctor, people don't actually ask how I am. All they care about is this thing, this parasite
Yeah.
inside me. Meanwhile, none of my cute clothes fit, and I'm not buying a whole new wardrobe so that I can like not fit into it in, you know, a couple of months' time. And I would really just like to have like proper bladder and bowel function back again. Thank you.
Yeah, dressing like Adam Sandler is a thing. Like, lots of oversized shirts.
I just honestly, like, I think I got to a point where like even um even my partner's shirts, like I couldn't, like
Yeah.
they wouldn't cover, and I was like, this is not a thing. So I think I lived in like stretchy dresses like for the very end. But I have like, I'm not a small person, so I had like a little bit of like under fat, like like under the bottom. So I didn't have a very nice like curvature like a C. It was kind of like a B.
I had that too, but I've got a weird belly button. Like I've got
Oh,
a
me
very
too.
deep belly button. So
Yeah.
like I was the same. I was like, I didn't have the really cute, flat, rounded,
Yeah.
beautiful belly. It was like, bloop, like
Yeah.
a B, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, at that belly button, it was like,
It just
yeah, it
goes in
must
a
just
bit.
be a deep one. It's like, guys, I
Yeah.
think you tied the umbilical cord too tight.
Well, that's what I thought too, but apparently it's nothing to do with that, because I was like, Glenn, you have to make sure that you clamp Miney's umbilical cord close
Just a
to,
little.
like, I was paranoid about, because I've hated my belly button my whole life.
Oh,
Such a
oh
weird thing
my
to be
God.
self-conscious
Thank
about.
you. No, me exactly, because it's not that perfect little round.
Yes,
Oh, and
not
I
alone.
think what no, what I first, I don't care. We're going off topic. This is relevant. It was when I was in high school, and like it was so cool to get your belly button pierced. Like that was
Mhm.
like epitome of that girl.
Yeah.
And they'd show me, and I'm like, my belly button looks nothing like that. What is going on? And so ever since then, I've just been like, I just hate it. And you can't get like, even if I was to get like I don't know, like a tummy tuck or like a lift or whatever, my belly button would still look like that.
Yeah.
Like, because I've been up and down in weight and it's always stayed the same.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Anyway.
I actually got my belly button pierced. Off topic even more.
Oh,
When I was at
okay.
uni, I was like, I'm just gonna do it. I had a friend who
You that
was
girl, okay.
I never showed it off though. Like I
Oh,
was
really?
like, yeah, it was funny. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And maybe it'll make me feel better about it, because the little stud kind of hides how deep your belly button is.
Yeah,
And I was like,
okay.
maybe it'll make me feel better about it. But oh, that was like such a horrible experience. A friend did it in a friend's bedroom. Just could do piercings and stuff, so she was like, oh, I'll just do it for you. Horrible.
Okay.
Don't suggest that.
Sorry, I'm just like, I don't think I would ever do that. Like,
No,
that
well,
would
I
never
wouldn't
cross
have
my
thought I
mind.
would have either.
I'm like, we need to be like
But
in a sterile, like I need like
oh yeah.
chair, and like it needs to smell like alcohol in here, because and everything needs to be sterile. You're putting a hole in my body. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. What a confession, Hannah. Thank you. Thank
Oh,
you very
you're
much.
welcome. And my body rejected it. So after going through all that pain
All of
and
that.
them having to pierce it twice because the first time they couldn't get the bar through, my body was like, no, it's gonna grow out. Yeah. So I think I had it for a year, and then that was it. It was gone.
Good. Look, the things we do when we're young, hey?
Oh, I know. Wild.
No, but like, and I think that's another thing as well. Like the relationship that we have with our bodies, like goes through like this tremendous like journey when we're in our teenage years, and we're trying to look a certain way, and we're trying to catch up. Are our boobs too big? Are they too small? All of a sudden no one wants boobs, and then we all want boobs, but then they're like, oh, they're too big now, and then like we get to, I mean, how old are you, Hannah?
34. I had to think about that.
34. Yeah, okay. 34. So it's like, and then we get to like 28, 29, and we go through the maturing of our prefrontal cortex, and that actually makes us feel a lot better about ourselves. And we feel like a little bit more accepting of who we are. We're like, you know what? I'm a queen.
Doesn't matter what I look like. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm living my best life. I'm doing what I can. I'll dress for my body type, not for fashion, all that kind of stuff, right? And then we bloody get pregnant.
Oh, and then it starts again, doesn't it?
And then it starts again.
Yeah.
And
you're like, what is that?
Will I ever look the same again? It's
like going through puberty again. It really is. You're like, my hips have changed, my boobs have
Oh,
changed. Like
they'll
none of these perky little boobs. Like
oh, okay. So if speaking of that, okay, if you live in Australia and your nipples go past the inside of your elbow, you can get a Medicare covered breast lift.
Damn, mine don't.
Okay. Well, you're still breastfeeding, so you never know. But that's actually a thing.
That's crazy. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because it's like it affects your quality of life, like having them like that.
Reminds me of that song that you used to sing in like primary school. Do your boobs
Oh.
hang low? Do they wobble to and fro?
No, I think I must have been. Look, I've copped a lot of flack, like saying like, oh, like I'm a feminist, or I'm like a misandrist and stuff like that, because I'm like celebrating women in gaming. Little do people know that you can actually celebrate women in gaming without saying that men in gaming are bad. But anyway,
totally. That's a common misconception with feminism, though, right?
It's like, just because we celebrate one thing doesn't mean we're reducing
we
the
hate
other.
the other. Yeah.
Anyway, I think it's probably got something to do with like rivalry and like football teams and, like sports, when it's actually a completely different thing. Like, that's competitive, a kind of competitive thing. This is more of a passionate thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I changed that song to do your balls hang low. I think I may or may not have been traumatized by actually seeing some hanging out of someone's stubby shorts as a child.
Wow. Yeah.
Anyway,
that's pretty traumatic.
It is.
Yeah.
Wear underwear. What's wrong with you in the daytime? But no, balls never look good.
They're not good.
This is, people are going to be listening to this and be like, I thought they were talking about gaming. It's like,
we've digressed so much.
We really have. But you know what? It's okay, this is another like train of thought, right? So it's like, I find that everything that, well, maybe it's just my experience, but as a woman, I find that I think of everything like in a line. So like everything is connected. So it's like, okay, so my body image and, how I've grown up and, what I look like and stuff like that. Like, obviously I'm a person in the public. You are a streamer. Like, your body image and the way you look, the way you feel about yourself will be impacted on how much you share. And like, you have this cute little baby and you're going to be like, you know what, this cute little baby is perfect, I'm going to share them. Yes. Rather than actually celebrating that it's you, Hannah. you are the main character.
I've got to get used to dressing myself again now.
Well, and that's it, because what did you wear, like 5XL tees and tights?
Oh yeah, and then before that, like pre-pregnancy, I was part of the itty bitty titty committee, and I loved that. So my dresses that I wore then,
here we go,
just don't fit me there now.
Yep.
It's and they're not breastfeeding friendly, which is the other thing.
That you need to, the access. And then I think, because I used to be a bra fitter at Maya for like 4 years, and this is before I had kids, while I was in uni, and a lot of women actually one different size after, like, each one after they have kids. So
I learned that on TikTok while I was pregnant. I was like,
and you're like, oh, the joys. I think there's some creators on there that are like, they'll see these videos and they're like, list, like, this is like dot point 181 why not to get pregnant.
I saw all that while I was pregnant too, and I was like, this is not helpful right now. Thanks, TikTok.
It can be a positive. Look, there are pros and cons to everything, right?
Yeah,
there are you have this gorgeous little human in your life that you absolutely adore, and you've gone through such a journey to get there. You've gone through such a journey to, like, and you're still going through that to remain who you are and develop into, your next evolution of who you are. And like, it's exciting and it's cool, but men never experience anything like this. They're always
Yeah.
just the same.
Yeah, it's very hard, I think, for them to understand as well. Even, with pregnancy and all the hormones and all the
Yeah.
changes, and yeah, it's difficult for them to kind of fathom how much of a big deal it is and how much things change, and I guess like even how lonely it can feel, how
Yeah.
isolating like
Mhm.
pregnancy can be, because like you mentioned before, it becomes about your body and your baby, not about
Yeah.
you.
Mhm.
And
Like,
everyone
"I'm
just wants
still
to,
in here. I'm
yeah,
still here."
yeah, exactly. So it can be, I think, very difficult for them to understand. I know my hubby went through a
Mm.
bit of a journey with that, and I did a lot of trying to explain it to him. I think my hormones, I didn't have too many crazy hormonal moments
Mhm.
when I was pregnant. A few, but like not too many. So I was able to remain pretty level-headed and be like, this is how I'm feeling. Just so
Yes.
you know.
I need you to do X, Y, Z, or
Yeah.
you can't fix this, just feed me
Just
and
give me a
hold me.
cuddle. Yeah, exactly.
For sure. But you know what? I honestly, I think if men if men had to carry the children, we'd probably have a population problem.
Yes.
For
Yeah,
sure. But you know what?
definitely.
You're a rock star. You're still keeping on. Like, honestly, I think at 4 months, like, I had like hair growing out of here, like just like
It's
devil
starting.
horns.
Mine's just finished falling out. That was a
Yeah.
whole thing too. I was like, is something wrong with me? There's just clumps of
No.
hair.
Yeah. It's like your nails fall off, your beautiful hair
Yeah.
falls out. You don't have that glow anymore. You get hyperpigmentation in the sun now.
Yeah.
Um, and also you're probably low in iron, because I was not anemic before I had children, and after children I have not been able to get back on top of my iron. So thank you, girls. Thank you for that.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I was anemic before, but I've been taking iron tablets every day. So
Yeah. Yeah.
and still feeling tired. So maybe not enough, but it's, thank you, iron tablets.
And you know what? It's all these things. So you know what? We may be, pretty girls on the internet, but we're also so much more than that. We're we're more than mothers. We're more than just gamers. We're women, and we kind of rock. Like,
For sure.
it's I want more people to know that.
Yeah.
And uh I also want to know, and I want everyone else to know, what does Hannah have planned for 2024? Have you got any goals other than making sure your hair's washed at least once a week? Or because that was my
Look,
goal
that's
back when I had a 4-month-old.
it's kind of life at the moment, making sure the nappies and clothes are washed and I
Yes.
get a shower occasionally. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Um, I do like I definitely want to get back to streaming a bit more,
Okay.
and creating content a bit more. I feel like I've been meaning to get back on TikTok for a little while.
Yeah.
I just sounded
Yep.
like such a boomer then. The TikTok.
That clock app.
Yeah, the clock book.
The clock book.
But definitely been meaning to kind of get back into creating content there. I think that'll
Mhm.
be a little bit later down the line though. Convention wise, I've got I'll be going to the Games Expo as
Mhm.
a content creator, which is very exciting. I just found that out the other
Amazing.
day. Um, so getting some cosplays together and yeah,
Wow.
deciding what I'm gonna do there. I've got an Aloy cosplay that I'd like to make a few changes to bring out again that I wore to PAX.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's just a few little cosplay plans that I've got in the mix, as well as
Amazing.
trying to get to a few more conventions and yeah, networking at those as well. So we'll see how it all goes.
Oh, amazing. Well, I can't wait to see those. That's going to be awesome. I'm not 100% confirmed on anything in regards to traveling next year, but I'm sure we'll catch up IRL at some point.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, but thank you so much for being here. And if anyone who's listening or watching would like to follow Hannah and her journey as awesome mum cosplayer, streaming, gaming, and her whole life, her links will be down below. Also, I'm pretty sure she has a discount code for the Game Expo, and I'll put that down below as well. So if you would like to go to the Games Expo, you can get a discount, 5% off discount on your ticket. Love to see it. Hannah, thank you so much again.
Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. And I'm your host, Jim Cutie, and we will see you for the next episode of COAG Conversations. Bye.